Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, and I'm back again. It is my bedtime, really, but I was sitting and I was watching summary of the impeachment proceedings as it was being analyzed by the social media commentaries, and it brought all kinds of thoughts to my mind. The reason that I'm watching it is just to get some feel, some message that has been neglected that you, the people, are perhaps missing. You know, I made a vow that if Trump became president, or anybody that became president, when they were advocating for something that was evil, I think when I mentioned it, I called it for the devil, working for the devil. I was going to stand up as a spokesman and advocate for basic human rights of all people and advocating for the invisible God, that I was going to take that as my duty and responsibility to advise you of it, to expose the evilness of it, and at the same time reflect the God-given solution. You know, so you can have two things that you're looking at. I made some notes here, ladies and gentlemen, and when I listen to these commentators talking about what's going on in the proceedings, and they're talking about should they get witnesses or should they get documents, or how important is it that they get these particular requirements met. Now, I'm sure it'll have some benefit, and for some it'll seem as if it's a waste of time. But from my perspective, and based upon what I have seen and what I have heard, it is my total conclusion that there are no witnesses needed. There are no more documents needed. And the reason that I feel that is because the whole world knows that Trump is guilty. Not just Americans. The whole world knows that he's guilty. He's got a chance to present himself on the stage. The world has seen him. They know who he is. They know he's guilty. And even his staunch supporters know that he is guilty. It's just that they don't care. But ladies and gentlemen, it is very essential that you understand that the world is changing. The world is changing. If you can't see that, didn't see that, when you see what's happening in the United States of America, this country that you've been living in all your life, whether you've been agreeing with the politics or not, you have never, ever seen anything as damning as what you're seeing now. So indeed, the world is changing. And now is the time when some nations will fail this test, and they will lose what it thought, or what they thought it had or they had. Others will do better, and they will fare better. So, for the purpose of my speaking to you at this late hour, I ask my question to those of you that do not have a job. I know if you're down and out like this, you probably won't get a chance to even hear this, what I'm proposing to you. But for those who do hear it, maybe for a moment they would put themselves in your spot. For those of you who do not have a job, or that you're receiving low pay, minimum wage, or whatever, but it's not adequate. You're not having adequate housing, or reliable meals. You know, you're going through some stuff. You don't have education, access. You don't have the benefit of health care. Now, I'm seeing these as people who have to go through hell every day. Now, I know when you see Trump, the senators who are supporting him all the way, when you see the Republican Party and how corrupt and dangerous they are to the public, and then you take a look at the Democratic Party and their response to you compared to the Republican Party's response to you. I ask, is there a difference to you between Republican and Democratic administrations, parties, in their response to you? The answer is categorically no difference. So you, the poor of the nation, the poor of the world, you are the evidence of the failure of both these man-made institutions. You are the evidence. Don't forget that. You are the evidence that Republican Party and Democratic Party is from the pit of hell. You are the evidence. You are the evidence that white men in power, black men in power, white men in power, black men in power, women in power, all the same thing. All the same thing. There's no difference. You are living, and you are the evidence. You know what? What they are saying, though, is they don't want to be in the same position that you are in. They also say that they don't know how to fix. They heard somewhere that you always got the poor with you. So the fact that you exist is nothing that's strange to them. They don't really know how to fix it. And since they don't know how to fix it, this is how politicians take advantage of them. Split them up, Republican and Democrat. And then they switch who's going to be in power at different points in time. And who's always suffering, who's always at the bottom. You, the evidence that these man-made institutions are useless. And it is because of that, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, it is because of that that I find myself at this moment in time taking advantage of this moment in time to point you to an invisible God. Now I know you have been taught that since God is invisible, man shaped God up to look like man so man can play the role of God. Now, some people justify that when they put somebody on a cross. They said, you know the whole story. I'm not going to go there. But the situation that is easy for you to understand, get out of the Bible and put it in your own head. Whoever runs with power is the one that's playing God. Whoever, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, whether it's a male or a woman, whether it's a black or a white, whether it's other powers that's secret that you don't know anything about, it is people. And they are playing the role of God. They are determining. When you see people protesting and the police come out and beat them with sticks, shoot them with rubber bullets and tear gas. These people are pissed off at what's going on. They saying they are not satisfied. And the government is saying to hell with you, take your butt somewhere and sit down. And they are popping bullets on your butt. They're not doing that in the United States at this time. They used to do it. And Trump going to try to bring it back. But all around the world, you see how they're disrespecting humanity. And so that's what they want to do here. So you, the poor people, you understand what's going on. You stand up, and God will stand up with you. Now, I don't want to hold but another minute or two. When I talk to you about an invisible God, I'm talking about a God that is a spirit. You see, this earth exists by a spiritual God, not by a physical handmade God like us. No. And the abilities that all the earth has is from that spiritual mind. The rivers, the seas, the trees, the plants, you know, you've heard me explain them before. All of that is from that spiritual God. Now that spiritual God has made all of us human beings, gave us the same requirements for survival. None of us got anything different. We all require the same things. And all of the resources necessary to meet those needs are out here in the earth somewhere. And the skills and knowledge and the desire to recognize what is needed and be hungry enough to go and get it has been fed in each of us. But not all of the roles. We've only been given a part of the role to play. So as being here on this earth and having a purpose, we got a purpose. And one of those purposes is to play a part in our survival on this earth. And that means by engaging with that gift that God has given us. And when we engage that gift, then all of us who benefit and are engaging our gifts, we become owners of all the stuff that's produced. And it gives us carte blanche. Let me say it to you again. Carte blanche. It's like having a card. Carte blanche, you know what that means. You can go do what you want to do. You don't need somebody sending you a paycheck. This is your paycheck. You have worked, you have engaged yourself in all of the stuff that's created on the earth. You got to part ownership in it, and the carte blanche allows you to go and access it. That's the power of the invisible God. No lying, no cheating, no stealing, no Republican Party, no Democratic Party, no white power, no black power, no man power, no woman power. It's God power. And all of us are just children in the playground of life. Now I think I've said enough. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to consider what I said. I want you to know that the ones that hold the chains to your bondage is everyone that is not in the same shape that you're in, but they themselves don't know how to fix it, so they're being misled. And I, under these circumstances, invite you to try the invisible spiritual God that is responsible for all existence. And the only reason that I submit that God being spirit and connecting with you is that you allow that spirit to live in you. See, you become the guarantor. You're not looking for no Republican or no Democrat now. You're not looking for some liar to con you while they try to sell something else. Now it's you. That spirit lives in you. And you are determined to make sure that in the darkness, that spirit in you is a bright light to show it the way. And you are just part of the whole body of God making a change in this world. Now I think I better go now for real before I start thinking of something else to say. Bye-bye.